with that rah-rah. We leave you dead on the cement. With the game, we ain't playing fair. Matter of fact, we don't play it all. OG was in the air, but we about to run till we smoke it all. Putting on the front.
Hey, what's up guys, I'm back with another video. So basically, this is about to be my homophobic encounter. You know what, no, we'll call this my first, I don't know what the fuck I'm about to call it, but it's gonna be called something. Alright, so let's get right into it. So, keep this in mind. I'm a freshman in high school, I'm barely coming out the closet, and I'm trying to find people that are like me. You know, and being in high school, you see a lot of different things. And I was seeing guys wearing makeup, and I've never seen that before in real life, like in the outside world. Because in middle school and elementary school, they didn't do things like that. So I thought it was interesting, and I was like trying to understand like who was gay around here, you know? Who I was cool with, who I could be friends with. So me and one of my good friends named Eiffel Tower. Alright, we'll call him Eiffel Tower. So me and Eiffel Tower were at lunch, at the lunch table. We're looking around for people, you know, like gay people or lesbian people. Basically people part of the LGBTQ community. So I was looking around, he was looking around, we were like, oh, well, he's gay, or he's gay, or she's lesbian, you know, which you guys shouldn't be assuming. We shouldn't have been assuming, but we were. Yeah, so we had got to this one guy, we'll name him Air Freshener. Alright, Air Freshener was, you know what, I can't even describe him because some of y'all might know who he is, so I can't be out here exposing too much. You know, I'm not trying to start anything, you know, let me just say that. I'm not trying to start anything, I'm just saying this happened. So we're like, oh yeah, like Air Freshener is gay, like, you know, we're getting the vibes. And he had like heard us, and Air Freshener was like,
I'm not gay, I'll fuck with that fetish.
Damn!
and we were just like, we were just shook. And he was just like basically going on a whole rant about how he was a homophobe and how he didn't like gay people. And as he was saying all this, I was developing third-degree burn. You know, my nose was about to fall off because of this hot-ass breath. You know, I thought I was in hell. Not only that, like, I'm not even trying to be funny, you guys. When I tell you, this nigga needed some deodorant.
Girl, here.
I'm so dead ass. Bruh, like, I'm so dead ass. He smells so bad. Like, not trying to be messed up, but I don't know. So he was just going off on us. And he had just left, like, all bad. And after, you know what, like, I didn't know if I should be offended or if I should go to the ER. Because this nigga smelled bad and destroyed my nostrils. They were gone. I could no longer smell. Anyways, so I decided, you know what, which this is an immature decision, but I decided I was gonna confront him. And I wasn't gonna do it in the way that I should have. So I took off my backpack, took off my earrings, and I was being all dramatic. And I went to go look for him, and he was outside the lunchroom. So I'm looking for him, I find him. And he's like by himself. And I'm like, so you wanted to call us faggots? And I go up to him like, yeah, so you want to call us faggots and like talk shit and like come at it super disrespectful? He was like, yeah, I do. And he just had this I don't give a fuck attitude. Like, he didn't care. He just was getting real buck with me. Like, he was really trying to fight. And me being the immature freshman I was like, oh, word. So it was just escalating. And then this angel comes. We will call her Crazy. Now, I'm calling crazy because crazy was crazy. She's crazy.
Okay.
Like, she could go from 0 to 100 out of nowhere. She didn't care if you were a teacher, if you were a guy, if you were a girl, if you were Obama, if you were Jesus. She would fuck you up. She didn't care. She gave no fucks. So she pulled up, and I was like, hey, like, do you know who that is? And she's like, oh yeah, air freshener, yeah, me and him are cool. And I'm like, all right, well, let me spill some tea real quick.
Cheers! The motherfucking tea.
So I was like, look here, air freshener came up to, you know what? He didn't come up to us. Anyways, I was like, air freshener was basically in the lunchroom calling us like faggots and basically talking shit about us and going off on us. And I explained to her I explained the situation to her, and she started to get mad. Like, when I tell y'all I saw fire in this bitch's eyes, like, she looked mad because Crazy herself was bisexual. So Crazy sees air freshener, and she's like far away from him, like, and she yells it from across the lunch, and she's starting to cause a big scene. So she's like, you know, like, hey, air freshener. And air freshener's like, oh, like, hey, what's up, Crazy? And she was like, nah, so you wouldn't call my friends faggots? And he's like, well, they're faggots. Like, why are you with them? Like, they're disgusting. That's against the Bible and blah blah blah. And she's like, well, look, you hang out with me, and I'm bisexual myself. And he looked real shook. Like, he was shook. And everybody knew how crazy was. So he started to get a little bit scared. And, you know, he was just like he was just quiet. And she was just going off on him. And she started tying up her hair, and she was acting like she was about to fight. So at that point, I started getting scared. I was like, damn. Like, I'm scared to hold her back. I don't know if she's gonna beat my ass. Like, I was just scared. So she starts walking towards him, and I'm like, nope, I cannot let this happen. So I start pushing her back, and she just keeps trying to get through. So it takes about 2 or 3 of my friends to make sure that she doesn't come over here. Well, go over there, and we basically direct her towards another place. And yeah, she didn't fight him because we broke it up. Like, we didn't let it happen. So that was the end of that. It's kind of lame, I don't know. But moral of the story is, don't be out here assuming people's sexuality. Don't be out here being loud and being ratchet and being annoying. So, well, that was the end of the story. There's a lot more to it, which I might have a part 2. Part 2 is way worse. But you know, thanks for watching. Stay woke.